Imagine typing a command on your local keyboard and instantly controlling a massive, high-powered computer sitting hundreds of miles away in a secure data center. That is the core superpower of a DevOps engineer. By the end of this video, you will launch a live Ubuntu Linux server on Amazon Web Services and securely log into it using your local terminal. To follow along, you only need two things: an active AWS account and access to your computer's built-in terminal or command prompt. If you're worried about accidental charges, don't be. Every single step we cover today utilizes the AWS free tier. You won't pay a dime. Setting up and connecting to a remote server is the non-negotiable first step. You must master this workflow before you can build advanced cloud infrastructure or deploy applications. Let's get started. First, log into your AWS console. In the top search bar, type EC2. This stands for Elastic Compute Cloud, Amazon service for creating virtual servers. Click Launch Instance to begin building your machine. We need to give our server an identity. Under the name field, type Linux for DevOps. Next, we choose the operating system. While your personal laptop might run Windows, the vast majority of web servers run Linux. So skip the Windows option entirely and select Ubuntu. Before you scroll down, look right below the Ubuntu logo. You need to see the free tier eligible badge. This is your visual confirmation that this OS selection won't trigger any billing. Now move down to the instance type section. Select T2.micro, making sure it also carries that free tier eligible tag. These two choices, your operating system and your instance type, dictate exactly what your virtual machine can do and the physical hardware capabilities you are renting. Scroll down to the key pair section, click Create New Key Pair and name it Linux for DevOps Key. Think of a key pair like a secure phone connection. The server holds a public lock anyone can see, answering only to your exact private key. Creating it downloads a .pem file to your computer. AWS keeps no backups. With your key safely downloaded, click the orange Launch Instance button. Navigate back to your EC2 dashboard and wait a few moments until the instance state changes from pending to running. Your server is now alive. But without that specific .pem file you just saved, your new cloud environment is completely inaccessible, even to the person who just built it. Select your running instance and click the Connect button at the top of the screen. Switch over to the SSH Client tab to find your connection instructions. Leave your browser open. Bring up your local terminal or command prompt and navigate to the exact folder where your .pem key was downloaded. Before we connect, we have to lock down the permissions on our key file. Type chainmod 400 followed by your key's file name. If you skip this, AWS will reject your connection because an unprotected key file is a massive security risk. Look back at the AWS instructions. At the very bottom, there is a full SSH command. Copy that entire line, paste it into your local terminal, and hit enter. Your terminal will pause and ask, "Are you sure you want to continue connecting?" Type out the full word "yes" and hit enter. Watch your screen. The prompt from your local operating system disappears, replaced by a block of text welcoming you to Ubuntu. You have just turned the terminal on your desk into a direct, secure remote control for a server running in an AWS data center. That Welcome to Ubuntu message is your definitive proof. Any command you type now is executing on the cloud, not on your laptop. Let's verify our setup. Type "Who am I?" The system replies with Ubuntu. This confirms you are logged in as the default administrator for this server. Next, type PWD, which stands for Print Working Directory. The output shows home/Ubuntu, proving exactly where you are located inside the server's file system. Now that you are inside, the real work begins. In the next video, we will use this exact environment to learn how to navigate folders, create files, and manage user permissions using strictly Linux commands. Take a second to appreciate what you just did. You've officially crossed the threshold from basic local computing into live cloud infrastructure provisioning.